What a joy and a blessing it is to be with you this evening. We are so thrilled that you've gathered here. For there are no accidents. You're each here to fulfill a purpose. You're each here for a reason. And as a group as well. Your combined lights have sent a shockwave around the world. A shockwave of light. Oh, it's beautiful to see. Well done. Well done. We come to you with news about the transition into the 5D. Beautiful spirits. Almost there. Hang on just a little longer. There's just a little more work to do. We can feel some of you have doubts. And that's okay. It's okay. For what you see in the physical world no longer matters. It's what's in the internal world where the real change happens. So the more you work on shifting your perspective to the internal world, your own spirit, your own soul, the more then the external world will change around you, not the other way around. It starts here, in your hearts. Meeting like this as group, to share, to love, to support. You don't know what miracles that creates. The power you have to create the world that you want to live in. For each of you holds the power of the creative energy within you. Yes, each of you does. You create the world around you. And when you gather as a collective, that power is 100-fold. The more you gather together with the express purpose of sending light and love to the world, you will then see the change. You will then feel the change. You will then be the change. It's not something out there. It is something in here. That's the catalyst. That is the trigger. That's the ignition. You would ask us, why is there so much strife in the world still? If we're moving into a higher frequency of the 5th dimension. Suffering is part of growth. And some souls choose to learn through suffering. We know that as empaths, you see this and you want to dive in and you want to help, and we applaud that and we love you for that. But please know there's a bigger reason for the strife and the suffering that you see in the world. It's part of the human growth. Still hanging on to the 3D. We're in the 5th dimension. We no longer need to learn through pain or suffering or karma. That no longer applies. The suffering that you see in the world, as difficult and as challenging as it may be to comprehend, is by choice of the victims and the victors, of those in power and those not. And that dance is nearly over. It's nearly over. This time of year is a beautiful reminder of new growth, of resurrection, of rebirth. Think of that chick hatching from the egg. Think of all the little beautiful babies that get born in nature during the spring. We would encourage each of you to think of yourselves as birthing anew. As one of you so eloquently put earlier, we were listening, we were here, coming from a chrysalis into a butterfly. Perfect metaphor, for that is exactly what this period in time means. Coming out of the cocoon, coming out of the old wounds and pains, and emerging as the beautiful, bright lights that you are. You have no idea how powerful and beautiful your souls are. We see them. We feel them. We know them. We love them. They are all you. And you are brilliant, radiant, magnificent. If only you knew that for yourself. We hope to remind you of that. To help shift your energy from feeling powerless to powerful, helpless to hopeful, weak to strong, victim to empowered survivor. These shifts are easy. It's just like sticking a key in a lock and turning it. And a new door opens. It is your choice whether to walk through that door or stay on the other side. We can help lead you with some breadcrumbs along the way, but we cannot force change, for the law of free will is absolute, and it is your soul's choice how and when you're ready to ascend. but know you have the power to do so whenever you're ready. And the world does need and appreciate your light, as we do. Some of you have questions. We would be happy to answer them for you. We remember the question from before about the animals and the transition and the ocean transitioning to 5D. And we want to update you that not only now have all the animals and mammals and creatures of the ocean transitioned to 5D, but so have the land animals now. The transition into the 5D is going smoothly, but we do need your help as light workers to tip that scale for the human race. Yes, there's questions.
Thank you, angels. We have a question here. What do you mean the dance is nearly over?
Oh, yes. The dance between the old and the new, the 3D to the 5D, programming of how you were told life was, but how life really is. Think of it as a dance between being an actor on stage and then leaving that role. You've been dancing with the two roles of playing the role that you were assigned and who you truly are when not in that role. I want to encourage you to look at your lives as facets of roles that you play and some roles that are no longer needed.
Angels, we have another question. Wanted to know that she is now open to the light, ready to be a vessel of service. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? And I think this is a question for many of us here as well. Thank you.
Beautiful question. Thank you. Thank you for that, Joy. We love the name Joy. That's one of the highest vibrations there are to achieve, joy. We should all be more like Joy. Thank you for that question. The beauty with that question is that it answers itself. You being you is all you need to do. You can do a meditation where you envision yourself as light expanding around you. Your own light coming from within, expanding out beyond into the planes, into the stars, deep into the earth, and then circling and encircling around Mother Earth. Gathering together in groups like this with the express purpose of bringing light into the world will help. But you can also do this on your own at any time. You are the creator of your own experience. You will know how, when, and what to do when you listen to your inner guidance system. At the 5D level, all will be clear, all of your psychic senses will be opened, and there won't be questions any longer. There will be a clear knowing into how to proceed. And Joy, you are already there. beautiful light. Thank you for that question.
We have another question from
Mm.
Billy.
Mhm.
Her question is, what can we do to support the transition?
Mhm. Pay attention to your diet. Pay attention to what you put into your light vessel. Think of your body as a vessel for carrying light. What resonates with that light and what does not resonate with that light? What might dim that light and what might make that light shine brighter? Whatever you ingest is a part of that. Whoever you interact with is a part of that. How you respond, what is in your environment, how you live, how you eat, how you sleep is all part of that. Maintaining your light. Ask yourself, is this healthy for me? Is this the right choice for me? Is this what my soul needs? Or is this just fulfilling a human craving? We understand that too. And that's okay. That's okay. You may choose to indulge your human cravings while you can. But remember, first and foremost, your body is here to be a vessel for light, not food, but light. And through that light, higher vibrations of love can circle around the world. Yes, light is the vehicle with which love travels. Thank you for that question.
How do I know, or how would I know where I'm at with my journey in the light?
And this is a question all of you have or have had at some point of your progress, of fulfilling some imaginary report card. That is part of the human ego, is understanding, needing to know where you're at and how you progressed. Let go. Let go of achieving certain things. Let go of having a specific outcome. Let go of timing. Those are all 3D perspectives. You are now, as you are now, a perfect being of light and channeler of love. Right now, as you are. You don't need to progress, to check a box, to run a marathon, to do anything special, to be what you already are. A soul being of light, here having a human experience, sharing and spreading your love with others. You're already on your paths. You're already exactly where you need to be. Let go of that human construct of needing to have certain things to be fulfilled, or certain outcomes, or certain achievements. One of the greatest lies you were told was that you had to work hard to achieve something. My loves, that is false. You just have to be. That's what life's about. Allowing your soul self to step forward through love and non-judgment. You're already perfect. And we already see your light into the world, Sandy. And you're already doing amazing things.
The progress report is one of which of the ego low-level limitation. So we're all here for lessons to be learned for our soul growth. then how do I know what on those lessons part of the learning progress, or that I need to know whether I learn or not?
Yes, you are confusing two very different things. One of which is your soul is perfect the way that it is. Your soul chose to come and have a human experience so that it can learn, so it can grow and learn how to come back to love and light, despite being in the human body, in the human experience. One of the things that no longer applies to the soul human experiment is the idea of karma, of having to go back and redo things, of having to make amends for things in this lifetime or past lifetimes. Your sole purpose on this planet, right here, right now, is to aid in the transition of the 5D. You would not be part of this group if that was not the case this evening. The soul lessons that you needed to learn, you have learned. And now it's shifted into now being a vessel for the light for the 5D. Now we've caught you off guard there. Let us explain. You have the power to let go of the human constraints that have been weighing you down. You have the power to step into and through that door into the higher realm of the 5D. And in that 5D, you look back on the human and you see that it's a suffering of choice and a suffering that you no longer need. It no longer serves its purpose. Suffering no longer has a place in the higher 5D. Does this make sense? We feel your doubts, and that's okay. That's okay. We feel that. That's okay.
Still digesting the very complex ideas.
Because you're filtering it through your human mind. Feel it. Feel with your heart. Each of you start looking at the world through your heart filter, not your human brain filter. Drop into your heart space and feel things versus think them. Okay? Your heart will never lead you astray. Your heart is always your guiding post. When to turn left, when to turn right. You have all the answers that you seek within through that heart space. Other questions?
What words of comfort or guidance can you give us to share with those who have troubled souls? Those of us in the light want to encourage those in the dark to come with us. They need hope.
Mm-hmm. We feel the love and the compassion behind that question, and we thank you for that. For compassion is in the 5D, and that is the frequency of love and light that would help us to encourage you to go into the 5D. This question, like some of the others, is still filtered through the human mind. The light and the love is an energy frequency. It is a vibration that is felt. Words have limitations. Words have their own vibration to them, none of which are sufficient to share and express the 5D feelings. And so, like our ability to communicate with you through words, you have the ability to communicate through your own vibration of being the carrier of light. Think of yourself as a battery, a beacon, a laser, where you, by just being you, vibrating at the frequency of love and light, that is what helps bring others to the light and the love as well. As a moth is drawn to the flame, words are no longer as useful as they have been in the past. Now start believing and thinking and feeling in energy and frequency. And so the better question would be, how do we communicate through energy and frequency? First, making sure your own internal energy is vibrating at the highest levels of joy, love, gratitude, appreciation, happiness. Those are the emotions with the highest frequencies. When you see others that are still struggling, you send them your compassion, the energy of compassion, the frequency of compassion, and that will help them 1,000-fold more than words.
Let's say as a group, or, for me, every morning I spend time to send light and love to the world and to all my loved ones from the angelic realm or from the global view.
It is beautiful, and we thank you for your gifts that you send to the world. We would like to give you a little guidance on that, if we may. Send light and love to yourself. Focus on light and love to your soul. When you do that, then it automatically spreads into the world. The best thing you can do for the world is to send that light and that love to yourself. The best thing. For as we were speaking with joy, that will heal you, help you transition, help you into the 5D. And by you being that beautiful soul light, you just being you, that then radiates automatically through the world. So you don't have to focus it. Focus on yourself. And to answer the second part, which is, what do we see when you do that beautiful sharing of light? There is a shimmer or glow to the earth that we see from our vantage point. Our vantage point is from a different dimensional space. The closest that we can help you to understand is, say, if we were on the moon looking down at the earth. Not exactly right, but it's close. And when we see you sending light individually or collectively, it's like there is a little rainbow glimmer, shimmer around the earth itself. But more importantly, beyond what we see, we can feel. We feel the love going in. And it reaches down into the depths of Mother Earth. And she's so appreciative. And she's so grateful. What you're doing is not just healing humanity, but Mother Earth herself and all who inhabit it. And it's helping her to transition as well. It is difficult to share the impact you're having from explaining it through this human experience. Once you are your full soul selves, you'll be able to feel that and see that for yourself. We love and appreciate all of you. You're so precious. You're so loved. We're so grateful for this time this evening. We hope we've helped lift some hearts, answer some questions. But please remember, you have your own internal guidance system, and we're always just one breath away. We love you, and we thank you.